As the leader of the Booner Pack, I lead from the front.
All right, boys. Lock in.
It's our core foundation, man. Grit.
I'm fired up. I'm fired the f*** up, boys.
It's pumping right now. It's got my juice pumping, boys.
All right,
We're live.
We are live at Naps City Garage, downtown New Baltimore. This is
Shout out.
Beautiful. This
You're looking at me like
Hey,
that.
be
Side
professional.
eye. Hey, yeah.
Sorry,
Lock in.
dude, it's Lions
Lock
game
in.
day.
Hey, we are-
You get how you get Booner on Lions game day. You don't get anything else.
we are at Naps City
You get what
Garage,
you asked
downtown
for.
New Baltimore for Detroit Lions, Jacksonville Jaguars. We're out
Beautiful
and about
place.
with the people. Shout out Real American Beer. Shout out Danny from Naps for having us out.
Great guy.
It's a great setup. It's a great environment for a great game. Lions are favored by 2 touchdowns, boys. 2 touchdowns.
They are.
It is what it is. They're facing an inferior team that they should probably take care of. But you know what? This is 1 game closer, 1 week closer to the Lions' goal.
Yeah.
2 different goals, the big one and then the smaller goal, which I think winning the NFC North, they're getting closer to that. Take care of the Jags and also number 1 seed. Then you go get that Super Bowl. You get that right.
One thing I keep seeing too, and I don't think it's true. And you guys know I'm the king of trap games. I know I can say I know when I see a lot of people saying that today is a trap game on X, as they call it now, with Elon Musk. I don't know why I said it like that. He's just always on my feed. But it's not a trap game. I mean,
Would you say it has everything that a trap game is made out to be?
Mac Jones, anything with Mac Jones
is the definition of a trap.
The definition of a trap game, I've said it before. I said it a couple weeks ago when the Detroit Lions played the Titans. You come off a very, very high of a win the game before. You end up winning that game, emotions are high, and then you're going into this game. In the next week game, you have the Green Bay Packers. What do you have next week? You have the Colts. They're not looking ahead. They're not looking ahead. Let's just be honest. No,
going into Lucas Oil.
Stop narratives. I'm saying I'm trying to have a real conversation here right now. No one's looking ahead to the Indianapolis Colts. If they're looking ahead, they're looking a couple weeks ahead to the Green Bay Packers, the Chicago Bears, the 49ers. Like, they're looking ahead to that. They're not looking ahead to these teams. So I'm not too worried about it. So I don't know what's going on there. Do you know?
Well, it's working on it.
Okay, as long as we're good. I thought we were on for a second. I want the people to have a voice. You know, I'm all about the people having a voice. On my end, it looks like no people have a voice. Shout out to all the people who are joining us. I think the Lions win by 3-4 touchdowns. I said it earlier this week.
Yeah.
And I have my bets today, and my bets, that might be the craziest betting week that I'm going to put out there. I have so many single bets. I have so many touchdown scores. I am 5 for 5. Was it 6 for 6 or 5 for 5? 5 for 5 on interceptions, going for 6 for 6 today. I woke up this morning and someone popped in my head, and I have a reason and everything why. I think they're going up against Mac Jones. It's easy. Someone's going to get one, and I know exactly who it is. And I have a great parlay, and I have a legacy player. I think the Lions win by 3 touchdowns, and I think they score 6 touchdowns on their own. So there you have an option of
40
touchdown
burger.
scores.
40 burger?
I do think so.
I think 40, the 40 burgers in play. I think it is. Definitely
it definitely
in play.
is.
I think this is a Lions offense, guys, that last week, and Ben even talked about it, did not have their best week. They need to improve. Not that they are already great, but coming off a bad week, you expect them to, the following week, bounce back and look like the offense we typically see at home, which is explosive. We saw that a couple of times. We saw special teams units, the special team unit take over games, right? The Titans game, Jared didn't really have to do much. The offense didn't have to do much. But I think this will be a little different. I think this game is going to be, offensively driven. Like, they're going to put up 30, 34, 37 points today, and the Jags are just not going to be able to match that type of firepower. They just won't.
Shout out.
We got it. Look at this. I mean, entire
Here we go.
Here we go.
Shout out our sponsor of our pregame, our postgame, our watch party, Real American Beer. Shout out to them, man.
Real American.
Hey, great
making it all
beer.
happen. Yeah, and
ice
again,
cold too.
if you're in the Macomb County area or relatively close to New Baltimore, come out to Nap City Garage. Come hang out. Come have some Real American Beer and watch the game. It's going to be an absolute blast. But yeah, like I was saying, the offense today, guys, it's going to be the vocal point. I'm excited for the defense. I mean, we'll talk about it a little bit with Darius Smith debuting, but the offense here, you got no Sam Laporta. He's ruled out. Brock Wright, legacy game. I think the running backs here, good opportunity.
He already had his legacy game. He's doubling down.
It's going to be a good opportunity this week for the running backs to just absolutely dominate this game, and to get Taylor Decker back. So, full offensive line, all your starters back.
Yeah, I understand. Trayvon Walker, very talented player, has 7.5 sacks on the year. Josh Hines, Allen, all pro level caliber player, at least can be.
Yep.
When you look at this offensive line, it just does not matter. When you look at Jared Goff struggling last week, I think the Texans game, the fact that the Lions didn't just go into Houston and just lay an egg, or at least for the Texans lay an egg, the Lions didn't have a huge win. I think that's going to help this team long term because it's going to keep them checked in. Like, I think the Lions are still going to have something they want to go out and prove today. Like, hey, this is the team that everybody says we were. We're going to go out there. We laid 40 on Dallas. We laid 50 on Tennessee. We're about to go lay 40 on 50 on Jacksonville. So when you look at that, compounding with the defense that they got going on right now with how Booner said Mac Jones, I'd rather see Mac Jones out there than C.J. Beathard just because of how immobile that man is. He's a traffic cone out there. So when you look at it, I think Terrion, he's got a lot to prove today because Carlton Davis banged up. He's going to play. But I think this is a week where you got Brian Thomas on Terrion Arnold a lot, and them on the outside, rookie on rookie. I'd love to see Terrion get a turnover, at least have a big impact today. But I think it's going to be from quarter 1 to quarter 4, belt to ass with the Detroit Lions and Jacksonville Jaguars. It's going to be a great game to watch. Just going to be sitting here sipping some beers, breaking down the game, probably going to be 20, 21, 22. It's going to be a huge game, I think, for the Lions offensively, and Jaguars aren't scoring a touchdown.
I do too.
Cam Little's going to be a busy man today.
Yeah, Ben Johnson will be dialing up. I expect some trick plays here. I expect some creativity. I expect Jared Goff to come back this week. This is a Jared Goff. This is a player who has been in the MVP conversations, coming off 5 picks. I know a couple of them were BS. I will say that. But this week, man, this sounds like a motivated Goff against a defense in Jacksonville that, for the majority of the year has not been very good. They showed a lot against the Vikings. Mm-hmm. But again, this offense, it just doesn't have any weaknesses. I just don't. You can point to, where do you point to and say that's a weakness? Best backfield.
The weakness, honestly, is probably like the left side of the offensive line. Like Graham Glasgow and Taylor Decker, but you're going to call that a weakness?
Yeah, still the best unit in football.
There's probably 30 teams in the NFL that would love to have that as the left side of their offensive line. And the Detroit Lions, if that's your weakness, you want to go to wide receiver 3 or tight end like Khalif Raymond. He can take over the game on special teams, and he makes plays all the time on offense. Brock Wright, joke about it now, but he's a great, reliable blocker, and you throw him the ball, he's going to get 5 yards, but he's not going to fuck anything up. So if you want to go that as your weakness, that's fine. Look at that Jaguars secondary. It's absolutely abysmal. The linebacker core, Devin Lloyd and Chad Moom aren't scaring a soul. The only thing that they have are the edge rushers there, and you have Taylor Decker and Penei Sewell, which is the best tackle duo in all of the NFL.
I do think there's a sense, like offensively, where like this Lions team after last week, the first half, like they've and Ben Johnson goes into the week like emphasizing, like to hear Ben Johnson go into the press conference this week and say, we had our worst half of football offensively since I've been the offensive coordinator.
Right.
Like to hear that as in not comparing myself to Ben Johnson.
No, you
as a competitor.
Feel free.
As a competitor,
yeah.
I'm sitting there and I'm going, I know Ben Johnson's mindset. I'm sure everyone in the chat, if you've competed, when you play bad like that and you're looking at it, like you want to prove something the next week. Like you want to go out there and be like, that wasn't us. Like that first half of football was not us. I know we came back and won the game. And it's the same thing with like Jared Goff. He doesn't want people to have that 5 interception game, the last thing that they remember of him. He wants to go out there and go get 3 or 4 touchdowns today and throw for 300 yards. And he wants to like this offense to go score for 40, 50 points to be able to like get that taste out of their mouth. Like I want to bounce back. We want to show the NFL that was a fluke. That was just a bad half of football. And we'll only have one of those every 2.5 years. So I do think today, like offensively, like Taylor Decker, almost choked on
that real American beer there, bro.
No, but Taylor Decker back, I think that's going to be a big thing. Yes. I think that's going to change a lot. And a lot of people were like giving I give Dan Skipper credit for stepping in. Like a late week, like on a Thursday, it's just out of nowhere to step in. I give him credit. But at the same time, it's also, you do have to look, it's like, yeah, he did good, but that left side of the ball was terrible. It was so bad, and it affected the offense like top to bottom until the third, fourth quarter. Like it wasn't just it wasn't even just affecting the run game. Like there was just constant pressure on Jared Goff the whole time, and I'm sure Goff is pretty excited to have his full offensive line like fully healthy. Now you can get Dan Skipper back to his normal spot to where he is a situational guy, tight end, like that extra lineman if you need it. Like that's Dan Skipper's, and I love Dan Skipper. That's what he's best at in the NFL. And he is, or just not in the NFL, but for this Lions team.
right.
Like, that's what he is great at. We all have roles. Everyone has roles. That's his role. And I think Taylor Decker being back in his role, as much as people went at him for a couple weeks, that man is elite. Like, he is very good at his job when he's at his best. So you have a good I think it's a good defense line. Is Trayvon Walker playing?
Yeah.
So Trayvon Walker, Josh Hines-Allen, like, you have to be fully healthy. Like, they are going to be a problem, whether you think so or not.
Probably better than one of the better pass rushing duos they went up against, at least over the last couple of months, because you have Danielle Hunter in Houston, but there's no Will Anderson. So that would be one of them, but they weren't healthy. And I think I want to ask you guys this. Now that the Goff MVP narrative, as of right now, is just dead, do you think that kind of like takes pressure off Goff? Like, not necessarily saying he was focused on that, but I don't think any NFL player, when you hear MVP, like you're an MVP contention, like I feel like that puts a little bit of pressure. Like, you want to win the MVP, you know what I mean? There's not a player, like, it might not matter to him as much as other people, but he still is thinking about it. It's like, okay, let's go put up an MVP type of number here. Let me see what Lamar's
force
doing.
some things, maybe.
Yeah, and
there's
I think
always
now
mind
that
on
it's
it.
dead, he's probably, like, I would imagine, a little bit more carefree out there. Not saying he'd be turning the ball over, but probably a little bit more poised, and he's already been so poised. I think we could see Goff kind of play his better ball of the year so far. I know he went through an insane run, but I don't see a reason he can't do it again, especially now that narrative's kind of off his back.
I mean, I think Caleb said this on our show before too, and I thought he put it well. It's almost like you get all the interceptions out. Like, he threw 5, and again, not that everyone was his fault, but it almost frees him up. It's like, okay, I've had a game where I threw 5 picks. Like, all right, we can just focus on football. Yeah, like, you can't have a game worse than that in terms of turning the ball over.
What makes me feel good about that, though, is like, I said it last week, like, as soon as it was done, it wasn't like Jared Goff was making bad plays.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if there were just guys out there that were just trying to cover for him, no, like, Dan Campbell came out separately and said, hey, he probably only made one bad throw out of all of those and bad decision.
Yeah.
Like, 4 of them weren't even on him. It was just bad luck. And then Ben Johnson separately comes out and is like, yeah. And then Jared Goff comes out and is like, yeah, that wasn't like, I thought I played a great game. I just happened to throw 5 interceptions, which is so rare.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I think, like, confidence wise, like, yeah, he got those out of the way. You know what it shows? He doesn't even care about it, honestly.
Yeah,
like, he doesn't even care. He could throw 5 again today. The
less.
only thing he cares about is just winning the game.
Yeah.
Which is like, he doesn't care. Like, that showed me he doesn't care about the MVP. He doesn't care about throwing interceptions. All those people who want to go at him for, like, when he starts turning the ball over, like, oh, he's a lot. He does not. We can all say what we want. That man does not listen. He doesn't. Nothing. Like, nothing. He will just keep throwing the rock. He'll keep winning games. If he fumbles, like, he does not care. It does not faze him. That's, like, for me, that's what I want my starting quarterback to be like.
Yeah,
like, that's where I think, like, some guys, like Caleb Williams, if he throws it, like, he's going to be phased. Like, no, I wasn't meaning Caleb Williams.
Pulled out the Caleb
Will Levis, like, even like Josh Allen, like, they were losing games sometimes, and you could tell he was a little phased from interceptions. Like, Jared Goff does not get phased. He threw 5 interceptions and led 2 drives to score 3 different times at the end of the game on Sunday.
And the thing is, crazy. Too, like, with Houston, like, that's a damn good football team. Imagine what the Lions do if they don't have 5 interceptions against them.
They win by 30.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they would have. I mean, if we're going to bring up Goff, we might as well bring up the guys who's still in the ball, too. Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams. J-Mo's back, 2nd game in a row. Last week, he made some clutch catches. I'm not sure what his line is at currently this week. I do
like 70-something.
I do like J-Mo to get more opportunities. No Sam Laporta. And they tried, you could tell Goff tried to, take a shot deep to him a couple of times. The first one did not pan out, was broken up. I think this week there's an opportunity we get to see a J-Mo over-the-top big play that we kind of saw for a couple of weeks there when he was when he was playing not suspended. But this one I'm expecting a pretty big game out of J-Mo today. I just don't see how this Jags defense, specifically their secondary, they can guard this man, keep this man in check.
I saw a bet today that was Jameson Williams' longest reception over 30 yards. It was like plus 200. I was like, I think I have to take that.
Yeah, like
I didn't do it. I might go back
40-yard bomb. I mean, this is. I think he's a mismatch.
Because Houston too. Last week, Kamari Lassiter, he's been picking the ball off all year. Kalen Bullock's great there too. Like, so their secondary had a lot more guys that could prevent the big play. Not to mention the way that the linebacker and front sevens were playing. They're much improved compared to Jacksonville.
Right.
Like, they're putting pressure on Goff. Caleb talked about it earlier too. Like, Jacksonville against the play action is abysmal. They can't stop a soul after that. Monty, I think the Detroit Lions are going to make it just like imperative that David Montgomery has a good game this week. Not saying that he's been bad, but I just think not only for David, that offensive line saying, hey, we can run it through the tackles, even if it is in shotgun, because last week they couldn't run at all out of the shotgun. I think we get David Montgomery going, play action, deep shot to J-Mo, it's going to be there. Like, they don't remember Alex Wingard, the Alex Anzalone of their safety room in Jacksonville. He's hurt. They have nobody in that safety room. Andre Sisco is a guy that I talked about at the beginning of the week, but he's not a guy that's in coverage anymore. Like, he's kind of a guy that's going to be more in the box type of safety. They don't have anybody deep that can stop James.
It does feel like just an offensive game. It does. I mean, and I know, like, I think versus the Tennessee Titans, we said the same thing, and it was an offensive game, but it was essentially a special teams.
It was
game.
Leaf going off against his former team in any way that he could.
And like, if the Lions the special teams didn't do that, I could guarantee you there would have been 400 yards total in that Titans game.
Yeah.
And this is like a similar situation to where it's like a bad team, the defense gives up a lot of yards, one of the worst in the NFL at it. They've struggled all year, and it's like, all right, the Lions offense is the best in the NFL. They're going to go 400 yards unless somehow, some way the special teams does what they did versus the Tennessee Titans, which I mean, it's not that they're that good, but you're not going to probably do. Like, I love Leaf. That was one of the best special teams games you've seen in the last 10 years by a punt returner.
Yeah, you
incredible.
can't count on that to happen again. Even though I wouldn't put up a Leaf.
He could do it. He could do it, but multiple times in the year, like that was. I mean,
but you're not going to be close to breaking the record.
That was the second best special teams game played since like the 70s. Like special teams unit as a whole. Like, you're not going to get that again.
I will say this about Amon-Ra, guys. Maybe this is just because I've been harping on him and really trying to pump him up the last couple of weeks, and I have him as my impact player. But Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think this week you'll start to see the uptick in production that we typically used to see from Amon-Ra. I'm talking, remember, like last year, he had that stretch of 100-yard games.
Yes.
And like this year, he's had 100-yard game, maybe two.
But the thing on the counterpoint, the thing that's kind of keeping him on that All-Pro, I think it's either 6 or 7 straight games now with the touchdown.
7 straight. He's going for the record today.
Yeah, I would say that's what, to your point, like not only the yardage, but I think that Ben Johnson makes sure he breaks that Detroit Lions record of getting in the end zone for the consecutive weeks.
I said it last week, and I'm running it back.
Doubling down.
Amon-Ra St. Brown 100-yard game didn't happen the last 2 weeks. I said it.
Yeah,
it's happening this week.
Have you thought though? He's done it twice this year. 112 versus Minnesota and 119 versus Tampa. Have you had a thought process over the last 2 weeks when it doesn't hit? Have you thought maybe if you don't call it out and say it that it will happen?
No, I'm gonna keep calling it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I've got no comment.
Live and die by the sword.
Right,
I'm calling it 100 yards.
Because remember who was it? You kept calling for an interception.
Taron Arnold.
Yeah, and it's just like 6
we're
straight.
still calling it. It's still.
You know what? Wait till defense. I'll say it.
Let's not.
Wait till defense. Okay. All right.
Hey,
it's my I'm giving my pick. All right.
Wait, you don't narrative's gonna lie.
You bet on Booners. You bet on Booners. You don't bet on mine.
All right, that's fair.
Mine's just for the clicks.
I do think Amon-Ra though.
Mine's just for the clicks.
I've said it before. I said it earlier in the show. Like, I do think there's going to be a lot of touchdown scores. I do.
Yeah.
I think they score 5 touchdowns at least today. And if you do that, like, you're not going to have a guy that scores 3 touchdowns. So you're looking.
There's 5. Amon-Ra's one of them.
Amon-Ra. I mean, you're going to look at both of the running back. I'm giving away picks for my thing. Yeah. I'm going to wait, but I do think there's multiple touchdown scores, which I'm I
agree with that.
If they score 5 touchdowns,
right?
Maybe Brock,
right?
Maybe Brock. I've looked at some of his stats today, and they don't look that bad actually. Like 2 catches is like almost plus money.
I was looking at that too, but there was no way I was putting that in my parlay. You know who's been quiet that I could see potentially falling?
Tim Patrick. Thought that on the way here.
Fuck you.
you asking us a question. He was asking us.
You stole the thunder.
Why'd you ask us a question?
Did
he not?
7. He said, I was setting myself up.
You said, do you know who had it? I said, yeah, I
do. You did not. Okay, listen, TP.
It's been a little bit for him.
I think TP's role is fine as it is.
Another one, especially in the fourth quarter. No.
Oh, I wanted to do it again.
Who used to play in Jacksonville that's been real quiet this year? Yeah, I think he has like 1 or 2 catches for the team. Have like 12 touchdowns.
Robinson.
12 touchdowns against those.
He's
boys.
not. He'll be out there. I don't know.
Hey, when it's 40-6 and Cam Little's struggling to make 50-yarders at that point,
let Big Bro go out there and get one.
Hey, Tyson. Man up on him.
Oh my gosh!
Put AR8 out there. That's who I'm taking.
Why not get $1? Yeah, I mean, I think this offense, you might get. She just tried to
walk ready to come in on stream. I mean, you guys are live.
This guy, I swear to God. That's hilarious. Shout out, Pops. Trying to walk it. Okay, anyway.
The
offense. We all agree the offense is going to be explosive today, boys. I think the defense is going to be an interesting part of this because Mac Jones he's terrible. He's a check down king. He's going to check the ball down. when you got two linebackers that are sideline to sideline, it's going to be hard to check the ball down
Yep.
because you have Anzalone and Jack Campbell that aren't going to let these guys get much yards after the catch. What do you kind of think of the defense? We'll get to Za'Darius in a minute, though, but any key players you're looking to make a big impact today or you're excited to see?
I do think Za'Darius. I know we're getting through.
That's fine.
I'll wait. Do you want me to wait?
Pop it all. I mean, we were going to talk about our expectations for him. We could save that.
Okay, well, we could save that.
Okay.
Let's save that. I mean, Za'Darius Smith, I think, for all works across the board, is like an impact player.
Absolutely.
Like, defensively, I was like, that's going to be a guy to keep an eye on. I think he showed up, and we could play it, and I'll pull it up when we do that segment, but pulled up in the Rasheed Wallace jersey.
Yeah.
Like a legend. So I'll save that. Defensively, though, oh, this is tough. I don't want to do it. James Houston. I think, guys, with Za'Darius in there now, we saw what
You're
James.
shooting your shot.
Listen,
Shooting your shot.
we saw what, and you guys know I've been the one that's been very honest about James Houston over the last 3 months. Like I was like to cut him. I said cut him in training camp.
Yeah. You wanted Matthew Betts.
But yeah, I wanted some production, and there are like a lot of talks, and I don't want to get into this thing with the James Houston because I've heard a lot of different people on different shows talk about, oh, well, James Houston's back when he plays, he produced. Let's not do all of that. Like he has struggled. Like I'll be honest with the people. I'm not going to be one of the ones that sit up here and lie about it. I'm not taking shots at anyone, but there are people who are like think that like he's going to like, oh my gosh, you have to play James Houston. Back. Yeah, there's people that are like, oh, like look what you did when you finally played him. Guys, no, they were playing him this year. There was a reason he was a healthy scratch, and there was a reason when he was playing, he was getting penalties. He looked slow. He didn't look great.
Right.
Now he looks like he's in a little more shape. He's finally understanding, like, hey, I need to step up. Like, this is my career on the line. And it looked like that last week. Now you had Za'Darius Smith in the mix with him on the other side to where on those third downs when they are passing downs, when he gets in there now, it's going to be that much more open. Think about if you have a lineup in there of Za'Darius Smith, Aleem McNeil, DJ Reader, and then on the other side you have James Houston. Like that's not like a situation to where it's like he's going to struggle. But he's going to have so much open up for him at that point, and he's going to be able to have the speed off the edge.
Yeah.
I think James Houston today. Last time versus Jacksonville, he dominated them, and I think this time I'm not going to say he's going to go out there and get 2 sacks. I think he's going to get some good pressure though, and I think it's going to be very, very good for the Lions defense a lot.
1 or 2 hurries, you think?
I was a bit bothered this week about people like being like, oh, he played this many snaps and got this many rushes and hurries.
He's been back. So bad all year.
No, people ignore that. People like there was a segment in Shout Out to Heavies where they did over under like 4.5 for him or 3.5 for him or whatever it was. And
what does he have this year? 1.
And some people like I think it might have been easy, like 4.5, give me 4.5 for him or give me 5 for him. It's like, guys, we literally saw this smallest of sample sizes, James Houston. I will have that conversation on what he does after this week, after next week. When we get 3 or 4 weeks of him producing, all right, let's have that conversation. What will he do the rest of the season?
I will say,
I don't like the one-offs. I want to see more.
For the amount of games, what do we have? Lions are 8-1, 8 games left in the regular season. 3 sacks for James Houston.
I don't think it's that crazy. I think it could happen. But are you confident in it? Would you put your life on it?
Okay, life.
Not even life. Would you put 50 on it? 50 bones.
I would not.
I mean, no. I'm not.
Because we only saw.
But I don't think it's
to your point. We're 9 games in?
Because they're going to need him more down the stretch.
He had how many with Aiden Hutchinson in the lineup?
Fair. That's
0. Fair. And Za'Darius Smith is going to help, but at the end of the day, like you said, Jeff, you're not going to put James Houston out there on a rundown. You're probably going to put a couple more linebackers out there, especially the way that Neiman and Awasi
him and Josh will be like swapping out.
Not even bringing up Pascal. If he's going to come back, they're going to want to send him at the quarterback. James Houston, if he can go out there and create pressure, like Booner said, that's fine. But this man shit his pants and gave us a sack. That's the only thing he's done all year.
It was a 10 snap. I don't have PFF up right now, but I think it was 10 total snaps.
It's just one of those things where it's probably, unfortunately, and James Houston, still an NFL player,
right?
Still making a lot of money. He's going to have a very nice life after this. But that rookie year is probably most likely an anomaly, and you're going to see guys that are going to be moving past him. And I mean, if he's out there making plays, none of us are going to be upset. But don't be ignorant to the fact if you saw him go out there for 1 game and do it. Not to mention, we talked into the week about how bad the Houston Texans are at their tackles, specifically at pass blocking, and he exposed them, which good. You did your job, but I don't think it's something you can replicate. Not to mention when you're going into better teams, like the teams that the Lions are facing down the stretch now, especially their offensive lines are much better than what you saw last week against Houston.
I mean, another guy, speaking of kind of the Houston-Pascal duo there, swapping out and bringing different skill sets to the table. I think Josh Pascal's skill set is very valuable. He's
better every
very
week,
good
man.
against the run. We already know that.
Elite, actually. Like, he has been very good.
Yeah, I mean, he's a key part of what they do in the run game, the run defense. But I will say he's had a sack in the last 2 games. This week will be 3 games.
And I mean,
So
he's
been good.
That's a guy when we talk about Ezra Cleveland. He's probably their best interior offensive lineman for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't know if he's active, but he's been banged up all week. He came from Minnesota, so I'm sure the early part of their careers they might have went up against each other. But either way, Josh Paschal, as far as in the run game, like Booner said, like setting the edge last week, he was a monster. And I think he's the type of pass rusher where he's a power pass rusher like Zadarius Smith. He's not going to beat you with speed. He's going to wear you down through all 4 quarters.
Right.
And towards the later end of the half, later end of the quarter on 3rd down, that's where he's either getting to the quarterback or he's creating opportunities for other people like Lee McNeil and the other people coming off the edge. So Josh Paschal, he's starting to turn, and not fully, but he's looking more and more like that second-round pick that they wish they would have gotten earlier on. He's got to stay healthy. That's his
year
thing.
3, year 4. He's starting to progress a little bit. You've seen a lot of Dan Campbell draft picks. Unless you're probably a first-round pick, you've seen some of these guys 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th round. Like, it's taken a little bit to develop some of them. Like, even Jack Campbell.
Iffy last year.
Like, I guess Jack's a first round, but like Sam Laporta right away. There's one-offs, but like typically, like some of these guys take a little bit of time to be able to develop and get into it. Like, and this is part of it too. Like with the the James Houston stuff with Josh Paschal. Like, I think the people that are giving James, like everyone that gives James Houston credit for last week, let's move that narrative to Josh Paschal.
Yeah, I agree.
Because he has been good all year. And it's like the games he was out, you could tell there was a little bit of a struggle. Like run defense. We never even talked about that. The game he was out, that was when one of those 100-yard games that we've given up. Mm-hmm. So like Josh Paschal has been unbelievable in the run game, especially with Hutch out, someone stepping up to be like, all right, who's going to step up to stop the run? Like, who is going to take that responsibility?
Right.
Josh Paschal has done that at an elite level. And then he's get a pass rush in. He can do it. And if you don't think he can get a pass rush in, that's when you move to James Houston. You let James go in there. But like anytime they run towards Josh Paschal, whatever side he's on,
maybe some Bobby Woo. Pat O'Connor.
Yeah,
Pat O'Connor now.
Don't let that man's been playing well.
Don't you disrespect Pat O'Connor. He's been solid.
Real quick.
I agree. Hey, we talk about Jamison Williams with the substance thing. You see, earlier in this year, Pat O'Connor in training camp got busted for one. Boy's off the juice.
Hey.
He looks like it.
Good.
Off the juice.
Go out there and do what you got to do.
On now.
That's why we weren't mad about the Jaguars stuff.
With the sleeves.
Hey,
I don't want no
showing grit.
I want to do this real quick. If you guys are watching, appreciate everyone tuning in. Can you guys just hit the like button for us?
There you go.
Shout out
real quick for the fellas.
Yes.
Hit the like button. Let's climb this again. Big shout out, Real American Beer.
Shout out,
There's such a nice setup here that we don't have to use those bright ass lights today.
We don't.
I don't have to get triggered by a guy.
Because they have these garage doors.
Yeah,
We've got natural sunlight. You know what? I know it's cold out. Should I ask to open one of those doors? Let's get some cold in here.
Absolutely not.
You guys want to play some grit?
Piss off everybody in here except you.
Don't want to open the garage door. Okay, I'm asking.
It is the water right there.
This is a great establishment.
I'm talking about grit.
This is a great establishment because they'll open those in the summer. You know what I mean? They open them in the summer. They have the extension on this.
The floor's unbelievable over there, too. And I was talking to the owner. They do a Bloody Mary bar out in the summer out there. They roll out this car, and they do it out there, and you can walk around. It's a beautiful spot here. If you guys haven't, and you guys will live in like 20 minutes away, there's 30 minutes until the game.
Hold up.
Come to Nap. Nap City Garage.
Until halftime, at least.
It is. I'm going to get the city correct. New Baltimore, Michigan. I know this is Jeff's stomping grounds, not mine, but we're in New Baltimore, Michigan, Nap City Garage. Shout out Real American Beer. Shout out the fellas over there.
Shout out. Cheers.
And everyone, there's 200 plus people watching. Hit the like button for the fellas. We're going to be live during the game, post game, all of that. We'll be switching streams.
Hey, this is the boys are getting a win for me. It's my hometown. This is my former team.
We talk about
this is a home game for you.
Peyton returning to Indianapolis. That's what it is.
The boys are getting fired up.
I'm looking forward, and I see Jeff has about 40 people here in front of us right now.
Got the whole fam to come
out. They're all taking videos of us.
It's like this is okay. All right. Chill. All right. Zadarius Smith. What do we expect?
By the way, I just saw a video. Aiden Hutchinson's in the building.
Hey, did you get that video of him recovering already?
Yes.
I couldn't imagine if I snapped my tibia and my fibia, being like, what was it?
Should we play that?
A month ago.
Should we play it for the people who haven't seen it? Let me pull this up.
In case you haven't seen it.
Pull a couple things up.
I understand it's in water, so it's easier to
first process.
But the fact that he's already here.
Oh yeah, and he's dude,
it's way too far out. But this is keeping the hope of Aiden Hutchinson might be able to play in the Super Bowl. This is keeping it alive.
Punch. I love it, dude.
Look at the.
Look at him. He's just getting the work
I
in.
cannot wait because, in my opinion, we're talking about Zadarius Smith, so it goes hand in hand. I don't see, especially with how he's fitting
let me know
already,
so I know going forward.
a situation where Zadarius does not play in Detroit next year. Like, he's already culture fit. I think on the field, we're going to see it today, obviously, but I think Zadarius can go out there, have a game. Aiden Hutchinson, Zadarius Smith, and then Brad's going to either re-sign Davenport for pennies and nickels.
He might.
He has
injuries.
no leverage with any team whatsoever.
Right.
And then you talk about, okay, third-round pick, let's bring in another edge. Like, if Zadarius Smith stays for another year, I love what's going to happen with this defense.
Why would you not?
Aleem re-signed. What DJ Reader? He's still got another year, correct? Or is he up at the end of this?
Who?
DJ Reader.
DJ Reader has one more year.
Yeah,
You signed him on a 2-year deal.
You keep the vets with Zadarius and DJ, and I wouldn't say that Aleem. You can consider him a vet, but he's still a younger player, especially compared to DJ.
Yep.
And you kind of keep that middle of it with Aiden Hutchinson, Aleem. You got Mekhi Wingo. You can bring in more, and I just think this defensive line, it's been the weakness for this team.
It jumps next year to a top
What jersey is that? You guys
top
see that, the 44?
I didn't say Malcolm.
No, it's an old jersey. Is that a job? Is Javid Best 44?
Javid Best was 44.
That was the first. No, actually, wasn't the first Lions player I ever met. I did meet Javid
Corey
Best one
Schlesinger,
time.
wasn't it?
Corey Schlesinger and Jason
Corey
Hansen.
Schlesinger.
I did a
Jason
kicking
Hansen
drill.
is
I did a
dope.
kicking drill with Jason Hansen as a kid. Here we go.
That is a Javid Best
Javid
jersey.
Best jersey. What a unit. What a jersey.
Yeah,
Javid Best was so good too.
That's a
If he didn't have
legendary-
concussions, he would have been a dog.
He rocked
man.
that today. There's a purpose to that jersey.
So Jason Hansen kicking drill growing up. That's why I'm a dog. I can kick. And Corey Schlesinger running back drill.
Where'd you learn long snap?
Wow.
That was
That's
at the Silverdome. When the
That's
Silverdome was still
Brutal
open.
field.
Yeah, it's
Brutal
yeah,
field.
I did it there. I don't remember anyone else, dude. I just remember those two.
Hey, fellas, for me, I think Zadarius today, we all agree he's going to get a sack. It's just in the air. It's in the atmosphere. He pulls up in the Pistons jersey. What was he rocking? Was that Isaiah
Yeah.
Thomas?
It was Rashid.
Hold on,
Yeah,
let me show you.
That's a man who understands.
He's walking in with a little bit of a sweat, like a little.
He understands
That's
the
swag.
narrative.
And we're just talking
Here
about
it
Josh
is.
Pascal. Boys, on 4th and 1 today,
Jeez.
the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Travis Etienne, you got Zadarius Smith and Josh Pascal, DJ Reader and Ali McNeil. They're not going to be able to run the ball whatsoever. I think Zadarius gets a sack, no doubt.
Yes.
But his impact on the run, he's going to be throwing Antoine Harrison off like it was like a rag doll.
Look at this, dude. I cannot
That
believe
is
he just walked up in a Rasheed Wallace
That
jersey.
is
He's
big
going to
man,
bring
though.
back what everybody misses with Jamal Williams as far as the interaction with the fans, like as far as just like being out there. That what you miss with Jamal is Zadarius Smith is going to bring that back. So I cannot wait to see Zadarius Smith's future on and off the field with the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
He's going to be so fun to have in the locker room.
The locker room, I said it, dude, when he first showed up, first practice, right? They say, hey, go home for 2 days, do what you got to do, bye week.
Right.
You don't have to play this week. Come back when, Friday, Saturday, what you need to do. Dude comes Friday, right? And I'm interested. I wake up Friday morning, I'm like, I can't wait. Zadarius Smith's in the building. We're going to see videos. First video I see,
Zadarius Smith.
Zadarius Smith walking in, dancing, excited, walks right into the practice facility, already dressed, walks straight into the group of the defensive linemen. I don't even know if he's met all the guys yet, and just starts dancing with all of them. Like the energy, like
Just commands the room.
Yeah,
32-year-old vet. He knows what it takes. Like, and he walked in the middle of those guys, knowing Hutch is out. Hey, we need a leader in here. Yeah, you have DJ Reader and Aleem.
Yeah,
you could tell he was like, I'm here too, and he starts dancing with them. And then now it's just like the energy. Like you see the video of him coaching on Sunday Night Football, and he's out there, and he did a post-game interview on Sunday Night Football with those guys. Like he didn't even play, but he was like, they want to talk to him. What do you think? And he's like, guys, this is a spot to be. Like, I love it in Detroit. And he will be back next year. I will put a guarantee on it.
The thing is with Zadarius
Guaranteed.
too, which is different than I'll just use two examples, like Von Miller getting traded to the Rams or Jason Pierre-Paul re-signing or going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like those guys already had rings. Zadarius Smith has been on a team
one.
with
He needs
Baltimore.
one.
You could have got a ring because of the Baltimore Ravens. The Green Bay Packers were very good, and then he's with the Minnesota Vikings, who weren't crazy good, but he was part of there when they were on that fluky run. So when you look at Zadarius, he still has something to prove in his career yet. So it's not like he's just going there collecting a check. Hey, maybe I can go win one. Like Zadarius Smith, especially with the numbers he's put up through his career, if he gets a ring, he's probably like, hey, I've been playing for a little while in this league. Maybe if I go win a ring this year and put up a dominant performance next year, maybe I could be wearing a gold jacket one day. Like it may not be likely, but you think about Zadarius, he's been an all-pro, multiple-time Pro Bowl. He's put up numbers. If you look at his sacks around the NFL through his career, he's up there when you look at league-wide in history. That's a guy that could put together a Hall of Fame type of resume if he wins a Super Bowl. So Zadarius has got a lot to prove. So I'm excited. I think he's bringing a lot of juice.
You're saying joining Detroit could potentially further his career, which is something we've heard.
He knows it too. He wanted to come to Detroit.
Yeah.
Listen to what you just
Join
said.
the Lions to further your career.
He wanted
to improve your career,
which is crazy.
I've never heard that until the last 2 years.
I had a thought. I know we have to get to a lot. And by the way, too, I do think Zadarius Smith gets a sack today. I think he dominates.
We all agree.
I looked at all the sports books. They're not even giving him a sack. They're not. No one's allowed to take a sack.
Free money, I heard.
I can't find it. I can't find it.
Heard it's free money.
If someone knows where I can get Zadarius Smith a 1+ sack, please let me know. I'll go get it right now. I was thinking, like, to that point, like, we're like saying, like, hey, like, players want to come to Detroit to win and change their career and further their career in a positive way. I had a thought earlier today as I was
Tobias
driving.
Harris?
Not Tobias. Relax. Tobias came here to end his career. This is the last leg of his career.
Go on.
Tim Hardaway?
Do you guys think, though? Do you guys think?
Senior?
I need you guys to lock in.
Okay.
Do you guys think the Lions winning, like, for Lions fans, like, I don't think any NFL fan outside Lions fans will ever feel the way that we do for Lions wins. Like, no one will. Like all these fans around here, they've all won. And it's not like, all right, even if they've gone through like a 10-year span of losing and it's like, yes, we're finally winning. The Lions fans have gone through 40 years of nothing. Fans. The only other team I thought of when I was thinking of this was Browns, but they haven't started winning yet. So they're not going to be able to feel it.
When they, like, just because I'm from Ohio, like, I unfortunately, I cannot stand the Cleveland Browns, but when they won that playoff game with Baker Mayfield,
fair, but
you would have, like,
they weren't Super Bowl contenders. Like, for us, it's like,
but they're one of the few. They're one of the very
but it's
few.
such a different level for us to where it's like they're Super Bowl contenders. The Browns weren't. They later was like, we just won a playoff game, which that's where we were last year. And then going to the NFC Championship game, like, there's like emotion of winning a game where you're like, let's go. But then there's like Lions fans for 40 years going through this where it's like Super Bowl season, NFC Championship game, NFC North. And it's like, I don't think a sports fan in the world will ever be able to actually feel what Lions fans do through these wins.
I would
like,
take
it's unique.
I would take a 5-year absence break if it meant a Detroit Lions Super Bowl.
Wow.
I don't even know what that is.
No sex for 5 years.
Okay.
Like, I would, like,
just the Lions win a Super Bowl.
Like,
hey, you're a
childhood Lucas would be so happy, and that's what the difference is. Like, I think maybe even like for like Raiders fans, for example, like, they haven't been anything since I've been alive. Like, they had Derek Carr to a wild card exit, snapped his leg 2 weeks before the season ended. They've got some rings. But it's just like, even their fan base, like, they remember like the Kenny Stabler days and where they used to be Bo Jackson, like they had that era. So even like teams that have been bad, it's still not as bad as the Detroit Lions. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers were right there. Oh, but here comes the GOAT Tom Brady. He's about to go win you a ring in 2 years and then dip. And now you're still in a good situation with Baker Mayfield. Maybe the Panthers, but even then they got to a Super Bowl with Cam. Like, there's just not a fan base that deserves it more, in my opinion.
So let's get to your bets, Boone. It's 12:38. We'll do Booner's bets. We'll give out our final scores like we give out Friday, but we'll reiterate them. But Boone, let me know what you think. This. Oh wow!
There we go. Now Gentry's whole family's here. Hey, families are showing up here. There we go.
We got the
Jax, the GOAT.
There we go. Jax is here. Here we go.
Jax. There you go. All right. Shout out Yawning Lion, $2. It's great work, guys. Go Lions. We appreciate you, brother.
Yep. Shout out Matthew Evans.
Became a member, Gold Crunch member for 6 months. He said, Booner over 0.25 sacks plus 105 on DraftKings.
I will say, we're getting into the bets, and I'll be honest.
You already took it?
I've already taken that one. That was one of the ones I did take. I was looking for one bet straight up, one sack straight up. That's what I wanted. I wanted one sack straight up. All right, let's do this. Let's do Booner's bets. All right, you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Make some money?
Yep.
Everyone open up your sports books, whatever ones you guys use. We don't have a sports book sponsor for Sundays, do we?
Not yet.
Nope.
We will get one soon.
Not yet.
Actually, can I announce it now? We have a new location for Thanksgiving. That's confirmed.
Yeah.
We have a new location.
Yeah. Go ahead.
DraftKings Sports Lounge. For Thanksgiving Day. I know a lot of people are probably going to be with their families and stuff, but if you guys want to come. Hey, screw the families. Come watch the game with the boys Ed and Troy. DraftKings Sports Lounge. Hopefully we'll be able to connect with DraftKings too.
Who cares how mad your wife, your mom, your girlfriend would be? Come hang out with the fellas. It's Thanksgiving, but more importantly, it's a Detroit Lions game day. Come hang out with the fellas down at DraftKings, make some money, drink some beer.
Why not?
How else would you? I understand you'd rather have the traditional Thanksgiving. No, you wouldn't. No,
we're not going to have the traditional one. We're going to, you know what we're going to do too? I already talked to Jeff. What we're going to do? We're going to bring a turkey. Everyone brings their own side.
I'm going to be.
Guess what? I'm going
to be late as hell to my Thanksgiving.
Me too. I already told my family I won't be.
Already.
I told them I won't be there.
Tough spot.
Hey, you know who I spent Thanksgiving with last year?
T-Mac.
Me and D-Mac. and we didn't. We were like, let's bring food. Let's do that. We didn't bring. D-Mac brought like 4 pies.
Pie. Yeah.
He brought
This is a T-Mac move.
4
though.
pies
Just
and a
get the
whole thing
pies.
of whip, and he was like, I
Oh.
might just eat the whip. I was all right.
What a goat.
D-Mac's
All right, talk to me,
amazing.
but what do you got for today?
All right, Booner bets here. Let's go. We're gonna do the 3 different ones. Legacy player, obviously. I don't know the record on that hit. Amon-Ra scored last
He
week.
had you.
So
It hit last week. You had 2
yes.
losses on
So
the year.
So we're at 9 weeks in.
7-2.
7-2. So we're working our way back.
6-2 bye week.
No, we're 8-1. 9 games. 9 total games.
But yeah, 2.
2 losses.
And then a bye.
No, the bye. We're 9 total.
I'll let you
There's
control.
10 total games a week so far. We're 8-1.
Hey,
There we go.
it's on me,
7-2.
it's on me. I was
7-2
wrong.
on the year. Last year we were 14-3 last year on the legacy player. I have Booner's lay of the day. And if you guys didn't know this, Booner's lay of the day last week missed by 1.
Yeah,
No, it
was
actually
down.
hit.
that was
It hit.
Oh, you didn't have D-Mon in it?
No.
Because D-Mon hit 30
Maybe it was just D-Mont then.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just D-Mont
all
then.
of ours missed by just
Might have been just
Yeah,
D-Mont.
no,
But the week
for sure.
before it hit.
Tough.
All right. And then we got the single plays. All right, let's start off. Single plays. Are you guys ready? I texted you guys this morning.
Talk to me. Talk to me.
First one. This is I'm gonna go touchdowns first. All my touchdown scores.
Okay.
'Cause, I put these touchdowns in. Unc actually texted me and said, Booner, why do you have so many touchdowns? Listen, the Detroit Lions are scoring 5 touchdowns today. At least 5. That means there's going to be one player probably with 2 touchdowns. If you guys can pick that, I'm not doing that. But there's going to be 4 guys completely who score and get in the end zone today.
Sure.
First one I'm doing, first touchdown score. We're doing 2 guys in 1. We're combining this. Are you guys ready?
Wait, so
We're
Two
combining.
touchdown scores in one.
2 touchdown scores.
So
One
it's gonna be like
two leg
okay.
touchdown parlay. Just because the running backs, fellas.
Yeah.
They are both like minus 160.
Oh my god.
They're both minus 160 to score a touchdown.
I think I'm rocking
And the
with
problem
it.
is with that is you don't get any juice. You get nothing. You have to put $1 million down to even make any money. So what I did is I took both of the touchdown scores for Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. I put it together. I got it at plus 161. And I'll tell you what, if you guys are questioning me on that, those 2 have scored a touchdown in the same game 6 out of the 9 games this year.
I'm not questioning you.
6 out of the 9 games this year, they did it, and you're going up against a Jags team who they're going to give up touchdowns all
and
day.
Jahmyr didn't score last week.
Yes.
He's going to score
fall,
this week.
whether it's on the ground or through the air. He's going to fall in the end zone. And David Montgomery, like we talked about, like they're going to make sure yardage wise he's just going. The touchdown just come with the David Montgomery suiting up on Sunday.
Next one, Amon-Ra St. Brown. He has 7 touchdowns in a row for games, tied with Herman Moore, franchise record for most games in a row scoring a touchdown by a wide
He's
receiver.
going to break that.
Today, we have talked about it a lot. This Lions team, these Lions coaches, they always emphasize. We saw it with Josh Reynolds last year trying to get his the money. We've seen records multiple times. We saw the Jamal Williams with Dan Campbell to go break Barry's record. They are about breaking records. They are about letting their players go get their own and making the players happy. Amon-Ra St. Brown needs 1 touchdown today to break that record. Amon-Ra St. Brown minus 105. It might be plus money now. So if you go get it now, give me Amon-Ra St. Brown. Next one. This is the biggest one. I think Jamison Williams gets in the end zone today. He has plus 160.
Right.
He didn't score last week. They were targeting him a lot last week. They had 4 or 5 targets. They want to get him going. They want to keep him involved. No Sam Laporta. JMO gets in the end zone. Home field, all of that. I could see the celebration happening. Excuse me, the beer. All of that happening. 4th single play. We're running through singles. We're running through singles right now. I said this is going to be a big day for Booner bets here. Lots of singles. Lots of singles. Next one. Zadarius Smith, guys, already gave it out over 0.25 sacks. So you just need a half a sack or more. It's plus 115. It's plus 115.
Come on.
I wish I can go bet him 2 sacks. I would do that. It'd be like plus 300. I would do that. Next one. So that was Zadarius Smith over 0.25. Next one. Back to the JMO touchdown.
All right.
Guys, just give me JMO yards over. No
it.
Sam Laporta.
Would be ignorant to do
44 and a half.
that.
Straight plays. Klotz, hey.
I'm thinking about a lot. I'm asking for the
No.
myself. Asking for a
You're
friend.
falling into my trap.
No. When I say straight plays, you take the straight plays.
combine.
If I give you a straight play, don't change the straights. We go singles. And we go singles. Easy said, lots of singles like a club on ladies' night. Don't know what that means? I'm out. I don't know what that means.
Night, bro. What?
Yeah, I don't know what
Booner's there, he's saying. Just continue.
JMO over 44 and a half though yards. I think he easily hits that. I think you see that JMO get 70 today. I think he has a big day and a touchdown, but let's take those separately just to be safe. Next one I have, running back. We're going back to the running back room.
Is it the
Jahmyr
RB1?
Gibbs.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Jahmyr Gibbs, not his over on anything. I went to an alt line and I go, hey, versus Jags team today,
Yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs is going to average like 6 yards a touch. maybe like 10 yards a touch.
He's been on.
He is going. He is going to
Klotz,
dominate.
Klotz,
Give me
you called
Jahmyr Gibbs 100 plus all-purpose yards. It is plus 115
Special
for him
cat.
to go out there
Special
and get
cat.
100. He's done it so many times
Resign
this
that
year.
cat.
He has dominated teams. Give me that. Another straight play. Again, sorry for the straight plays. I love straight plays today.
Yeah,
Don't
hey.
know what else to do. Detroit Lions team total over 30.5.
Oh,
Over 30.5.
What are the odds on that?
That's just it's
Can we make the
basically
team
even
total
money.
50.5?
We can move it.
Let's just.
If you guys want to move it, you know what?
No, I'm
We should
kidding.
all-
I'm
we
joking.
should
I'm
all-
joking.
we should
Leave it at
all-
30.
All right, I'm leaving it.
Leave it at
Between
30.
the five of us, Gentry,
Leaving
Caleb,
it.
Jeff, Booner, and I, we should all just throw 100 on that.
No, I'm leaving
And
it.
just split the profit.
Yeah,
Just
because
split
that-
the
Well,
profit.
I would just put 25
if
on
they
my
don't
own.
score, if they don't
It's
score,
a team effort here, bro.
It would be the same
It's the front
payout.
stuff. No,
It would be the exact same
we
payout.
all put 100.
Yeah, I would just do it on my own 25.
This guy.
It would be the same payout.
500 on the leg.
If you're putting 100 in, I'll put 25
no,
in.
we
You
all
get
put
the same.
100 in.
No, I'm not doing
500 on
that.
it.
All right, last single play.
Chicken
It
leg.
is Detroit Lions. We talked about this week. I think they get a lot of sacks this week. Detroit Lions 5+ sacks today. Zadarius Smith gets one. Josh Pascal may get in there. Levi O, Aleem, James Houston, Anzo,
I like one of the linebackers.
Trevor Nowaski. Give me one. That is plus 350 to get 5+ sacks for that. Now, I'll run through that real quick. Gibbs, Monty, anytime touchdown combined, plus 154. Amon-Ra, minus 105. JMO, plus 160. Zadarius Smith, over 0.25 sacks, plus 115.
book it.
Jameer Gibbs, 100 all-purpose yards, plus 115.
Book it.
JMO, over 44.5. Lions team total, over 30.5.
Lions, baby.
Lions 5+ sacks, plus 350. Now, I know that was a lot of plays. People, guys, that we're gonna make money off those.
Yeah.
If that
that's a
goes,
profitable
if
day.
4 of those hit, we're profiting. If 5 of them, because some of them
I
are
think the
plus
only one
money.
that's like, is maybe like the Jahmyr, like total.
Yeah, he's gonna get it. No,
That's-
I don't like that.
I'm saying no because I'm saying is like they're
You're a
just be
Gibbs
whooping
guy,
ass.
too.
They're,
Okay,
they'd
that's
be
fair.
whooping ass. You know
That's
what I
So,
mean? Like,
good job, Boone. I love yours. Love your list for today. I mean, how many you got? What is this?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 straight
Hey,
plays.
no.
We're going. Okay, 8. No, love it.
No, I didn't know with the
Love
parlay.
it. Now, Booner's lay of the day. Parlay.
This will be 9-0 with Booner's
And
lay.
it's plus 1. It's plus 543. There's 5 legs. Plus
Got some
543.
juice to it.
543.
Got some juice to it.
$100 to win 540 or $543. Easy.
Or just
First
do
leg.
10 to win 50.
Or 10 to
If you're
win
more frugal,
54.
that's okay.
Yes.
hey, it's whatever your preference is.
Yeah,
First
whatever your
leg.
Whatever
preference is.
situation you're in.
First leg.
Or just don't gamble, actually. Go on.
First leg.
Yep, sorry.
Yeah, I love
Third
you
time
guys.
the charm.
Yeah, yep, there we go. First leg. Jared Goff. Bounce back game.
300.
200 yards.
I love it. Yeah.
200 yards.
They have his line kind of low, in my opinion.
Let me finish this.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to. Can I do Booner's bets? All right. First leg, Jared Goff, 200. You'll see why later. 200. Jamison Williams, 40 yards. I know his line's 44.5. I think he gets 40. He gets 40. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 60 yards. We know Amon-Ra St. Brown's good for 60. David Montgomery, 50 rushing yards. And Jahmyr Gibbs, all-purpose, alternate line, 70 yards.
Love it,
5
bro.
legs, plus 543. Easy deal. No, I love this. I don't see where this doesn't hit. I don't see where it doesn't.
Honestly, I don't either. Because the golf signed to like what 230 something. When I checked, I think it was
228.
like
Maybe it's a little higher now.
Okay. When I
Maybe
checked
it's-
this morning, I think it was like 233. I could
So
be wrong,
it's
but
going
either
up.
way, like
So
there's not like Jared Goff. They had 52 on the Titans. He had 85 passing yards, and he was barely on the field. He still threw 3 touchdowns. I think
right.
that's not going to happen again with the special teams effort, like you were saying.
I don't want to cut you off. You're talking too much about Jared Goff. Let me just give you guys my legacy player of the game.
All right.
You guys, I should have told. I want to tell you. I want to.
hey, who guessed it right? Yeah.
Klotz kind of he got me back from when I answered his question earlier. Legacy
Oh,
player of
no
the
way.
game,
I didn't
Jared
think-
Goff. Klotz, you just ruined
I
it.
thought you said it was
Legacy-
Jared talking too much about it.
Yeah, that's why I said I was cutting you off. We were about to have a whole conversation about Jared
Go on.
Goff.
Go ahead.
Give me Jared Goff,
Love
the
it.
legacy player of the
Love
game,
it.
over 232 yards. It is even money. And then also, if you want to roll in there, by the way, one of my favorite people in the entire world just walked in.
Yeah.
One in the entire world.
The
Over.
The absolute go.
Jared Goff over 232.5 yards. Give me that for the legacy player. And also, it is over 1.5 passing touchdowns. So, Jared Goff, you need 240-ish yards, 235, 2 touchdowns. I also have one more play before we end this. Oh, we got to do some quick score. We got to get
Yeah,
this in.
we got to move here.
All right, hey, wait.
We gotta-
Well, you guys keep interrupting Booner bets here. I need to get something going
We
here.
got to land the plane.
interception bet. See, you guys keep interrupting me. I'm trying to get through this.
Go on. Klotzy, all right.
What are we doing here?
Go on, bud.
Watch it back. All right. Interception bet today. I have a player. We're 5 for 5 on the day. Matt Jones is playing football.
Yep.
Everyone keeps telling me, go Terrion, Carlton Davis, maybe a linebacker. There's a safety duo. One of them gets an interception today. Maybe both, but there's one guarantee. There's one lock. A man who has not had an interception in a couple of weeks. He has talked about wanting to just continue to build that. Number 32. Brian Branch plus 450 to get in there. Everyone kept telling me, oh, do Kirby. I woke up this morning and I had a vision about Brian Branch, as weird as that sounds. And I went, I think Brian Branch gets an interception.
I like it. Yeah.
I picture Mac Jones. I picture Mac Jones, and I pictured a Brian Branch interview a couple weeks ago where he said he is trying to catch Kirby and he's trying to have more than Kirby. Today versus a bad football team, a backup quarterback, Brian Branch is going to be all over the field. Give me Brian Branch today to go 6 for 6 on the year.
Like it.
Not him to go 6 for 6. If people don't know, I have picked an interception randomly throughout the year. I've picked it 5 times out of the 9 weeks that we've had so far. Every single time I've given out an interception, it has hit. I am 5 for 5 on the year. And today, to go 6 for 6 on the year, I'm going Brian Branch.
And Brian Branch started as a freshman at Alabama. Who's he going up against in practice?
Who's throwing to him? Yeah, Mac
That's
Jones.
What I'm
saying.
Yeah, come on.
Old teammate. Old teammate.
I love it. Well, I guess for final score prediction, we said it on Friday. I think this game is an absolute.
It's going to be a lot to a little.
Yeah, I think 34-10. That's the ballpark.
42-17. 42-17.
I like it. You're in the 40s. All right.
42-17.
Yeah, we're rolling. We're rocking.
I don't hate it. I said 37-9. I think the Lions offensively, they're going to have a day. I think Jake Bates is going to get out there a couple of times. And I truly, I'm not just saying this out of bias, do not see the path for Jacksonville to score score in the end zone, especially no Tank Bigsby. Inside the 10, they are cooked with no Christian Kirk. The only guy I could see maybe doing some damage for him is Evan Ingram. But who do we just get done talking about? Brian Branch?
Right.
Barbecue chicken.
He's going to lock. There you go. We'll be
Shout
live.
out Real American Beer. We'll be live in 10 minutes.
Yeah, we will.
For the game.
We'll be live in 10 minutes. Appreciate you guys. See you at the watch party. Deuces.
Peace.